stabilize people. Now you got it. Which side do you need more stability on? Left. Which diaphragm's got to get a stabilization attitude? Left. Which diaphragm's got to get a destabilization attitude? Right. Well, let's take the livers out then. No, you don't have to worry about that. Let's just expand the chest wall and destabilize it. On which side? The right. Let's weaken it. Let's lengthen the intercostals. Let's open it. While we do what on the left? Stabilize it. Chad, close it. Abdominalize it. Core it. Spit on it. Touch it. Feel it. Sense it. Learn it. Math, spelling. What's the third one? I can't even think. Math, spelling, reading, and math, spelling, reading, and left abdominals. Right? Four curricular courses. Does that make sense? You see the passion? You got to have this stability, but you aren't going to get this stability if you dynamically do not do what on the right side? Destabilize. Thank you. I would write that down. I'd write down, I got to put a program together that's going to shut down activity and tone on which side. Otherwise, just forget it. The right side's always going to win. You never have to worry about it. When you really get to the point where you're really failing in life, which side are you going to go to for security? I guarantee it's going to be your right side. Cool people like not to tell you their secrets. They keep their stability becoming more stable and cool on the left side. They have that ability to do that. They don't get so passionate like I just did on which side. When the volume comes down and they create, they do it with their left side. They shut off their dominance. Dominance kills people. Left side. B. Thoracic abdominal rotation is usually to the left. So in the math, algebra, or how about this? Arithmetic, reading, writing, spelling. We also have to add one more in there. Rotation to the right. Hi, Chad. This isn't rotation to the right. That's not rotation to the right. That's ankle strategy. Did you all see that? This is rotation to the right. This is ankle strategy, so you don't fall over. That's not no rotation. This chest is lined up here and here. There was no rotation there. None. And we just assume it's going on. How do you know it's going on? How do you know they have rotation to the right? I'm going to show you tests that tell you that they don't. If they don't have the test, I'm going to show you how are they going to do it upright. Under the word dynamic. How do you know? So Linda, I got to give you a way to check to see if your patients can really rotate to the right. Does that make sense? Otherwise, if they can rotate to the right, then that means they probably can rotate back to the left. How are they going to rotate their trunk correctly to the left and then to the right if they never leave their right foot? They can't. They're locked up. And that's called the left AIC, right BC dynamic pattern. And then finally, we have these things called ribs. Jen will tell you, I love to rename this entire course for 2 days, Jen, on what? Ribs. That's all I want to talk about is ribs. But then I want to be able to talk about all the other fun stuff. But the ribs, you know, Diane Lee, we just talked to her the other day, and we need to get everybody out there, Jen, to understand what? Ribs. You don't just go to a rib fest and eat them. You know, you got to move them. Ribs got to what, everybody? Move. You know, most surgeons don't anchor down ribs. Ribs have to dynamically what? Under the word dynamic, just write that four-letter word. Ribs. The most dynamic bone you have in your body is not your appendages. They're long bones. It's not your femur, not your humeral bone, tibia, fibula. What is it, Jacob? What's the longest bone you got in your body? Long. What's the most dynamic bone you have in your body? Ribs. They're moving at night 11,000, half of the 22,000 times a day with every what you take. And let's make sure we get this right. If you are really dynamic and you breathe, one rib is going to go up, and one rib is on the other side, is going to, on its partner, is going to do what? Go down. If you're really dynamic, they shift. How about that novel idea? Kind of a simple idea. You know how many people are going to bed at night that don't know how to shift their rib cage? Here's what they do, Sonia. They really do this. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Are those ribs shifting? Because if their ribs were shifting, their airway would stay open. They're pullers. They built tractors and machines to do what with that air? Pull it in. They did what with that 19-year-old body? Made him a better what? Lifter. They got an award, a plaque. You got the plaque because you lifted the most. They lift. They pull. They can't shift left to right. And those pullers are going to have usually a problem with thoracic scapular function, usually on the right side when they reach. Because every night they're doing this when they go to bed. Their left shoulder is theoretically, their shoulder, the thorax, is theoretically doing this. Every night, usually with which hand? Every night, what do they got to do with that right hand? They got to anchor it, because that's how they get their air. They got to reach. Thoracoscapula humeral reach, usually with the right hand. Why are people reaching with their right arms? Is it because they have a dominance on the right side? Yes. But why are they reaching with the right arm? Why are we so dominant on the right side? Why does our right arm like to go forward, Chad, and our left one doesn't? Because when our left one goes forward, we'd have to rotate our trunk to the what? We don't like to rotate our trunk to the right. We'd like to rotate our trunk to the left, because that's our pattern. And at night, you're going to put your hand in a position to keep that mediastinum on that right side in an optimal state to breathe with for air moving on the left side. Even if you lay on the left side, you're going to anchor your right side down so you can breathe better. You got a huge diaphragm over there, a huge neck muscle over there, a huge right arm complex over there. And dynamically, our goal, this will be hard to understand today, but let's try it. I want you to chop off your right arm when you go to bed. Take it off, throw it in the basket, and I want you to go to bed with one arm. I want you to look at that arm, I want you to position that arm, and I want you to forget about that right arm. I want you to reach with which arm, Brianna? I want you to reach so well with that left arm. So well. So you don't have to sit there and struggle dynamically to breathe. Therefore, you already know in your textbook, you're going to probably have a lot of activities going on with the serratus that's moving your rib cage back on that left side because your arm is going forward on that left side. Can we write this down under that? Left arm reach program. Where is it in my manual? Question mark. Find it. Every activity that's got a left arm reach program, I automatically offset my dynamic inherent influence of rotation that's going on internally with my right arm forward. I want my left arm to go what? Forward. Left arm forward equals right rib rotation. Ribs rotate to the right.